Okay? So here is the thing. Nobody put in your newsletter, your travel agent's email, or literally anywhere you would have actually seen it. The cruise industry quietly rewrote the rulebook, and they did not exactly take out a billboard to let you know. One day you are a seasoned cruiser who knows the drill better than most of the crew, and the next day you are standing at the terminal holding documents that were perfectly fine last year, but are apparently now about as useful as a library card at a nightclub. We are talking real people, real trips, real money, gone. And the wildest part, most of them had no idea anything had changed. So before you zip up that suitcase and head to the port, feeling confident, let us have the kind of honest, slightly uncomfortable conversation that your travel agent probably should have had with you months ago. Oh, you have been on 17 cruises. You could pack your carry-on blindfolded and recite the boarding process in your sleep. That is genuinely impressive, and also exactly why you are the person most likely to get turned away at the terminal in 2026. Surprise! Here is the thing nobody warns the experienced cruiser about. The rules changed while you were busy being confident. New federal ID laws, updated international requirements, and revised cruise line policies all decided to show up to the party at the same time, and they did not send anyone a save-the-date. First-timers? They are out here researching like it is a college thesis, but the seasoned traveller, they are breezing in on autopilot, passport in one hand, boarding pass in the other, completely unaware that the checklist they memorized is now basically a historical document. And that is exactly how people end up standing at the terminal door. Bags packed, excitement peaked, vacation fully planned, only to be told they cannot board. So before you roll your eyes and say you already know everything, stick around, because what you do not know right now could absolutely ruin your trip. Okay, real talk. And I need you to hear this like it's coming from your most brutally honest friend who absolutely refuses to let you make an expensive mistake. You know that little passport card sitting smugly in your wallet right now? The one you got because it seemed easier and cheaper? Yeah, we need to have a serious conversation about that thing, because right now it is fooling thousands of cruisers into a false sense of security, and I am not about to let you be one of them. Okay, real talk. Let's set the scene. You've packed your bags, you've got your sunscreen, your matching luggage set, and you are ready for this cruise. You even remembered your travel documents, which honestly deserves a round of applause. But here's where your well-organized self is about to walk straight into a wall, that little passport card sitting proudly in your wallet. Honey, it's about as useful as a chocolate teapot the moment your ship decides to take an unexpected detour. We're talking full-on stranded at a foreign port, frantically Googling the nearest embassy kind of situation. And before you say, but it worked last time, sure, and people have also won at roulette, but we don't build vacation plans around that energy. The passport book is the golden ticket here, no asterisks, no loopholes, no let me speak to the manager moments that actually work. So before we dive into exactly how this travel document mix-up ruins perfectly good vacations, let's get you fully briefed on why the difference between a card and a book is literally the difference between sipping a cocktail on deck and sleeping in an airport terminal. Now let's talk about the second major document issue tripping up seniors in 2026, the Real ID. The Real ID Act is a federal law that sets stricter security standards for state-issued identification. Your driver's license now needs to meet those standards to be accepted at airport security. You can spot a compliant license by the small star marking in the upper corner. If your license does not have that star, it is no longer accepted for domestic flights. Here is where cruising comes in. Many departure ports, Miami, Seattle, New Orleans, Los Angeles require seniors to first catch a domestic flight to get there. If your license fails at airport security, you never reach the terminal. The ship sails without you, and your dream vacation ends before it ever begins. Now let's talk about the third document trap, and this one surprises even the most seasoned travelers. Your passport might be perfectly valid, sitting right there in your hands, and you can still be denied boarding. Here is why. Most countries and cruise lines require your passport to remain valid for at least 6 months beyond your actual travel date. So if you are sailing in July and your passport expires in October, that is only 3 months of remaining validity. To you it looks fine. To the port agent, it is an automatic denial. Caribbean itineraries are affected because many island nations strictly enforce this rule upon entry. Mediterranean cruises face it differently, with multiple countries along the route, each applying their own validity requirements independently. Your passport expiration date is not just a number, it is a countdown that could end your vacation before it begins. Now here is the fourth document issue, and this one is brand new for many American travelers. It is called ETS, which stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. Starting in 2026, any American planning to visit Europe must obtain pre-authorization through ETIAS before they ever arrive. Let us be very clear about something important here. This is not a visa. You do not have to visit an embassy or wait weeks for approval, but it is absolutely required. It is an online registration that must be completed before you board any cruise featuring European ports of call. Here is the alarming part. Surveys show the majority of seniors planning Mediterranean cruises right now have never even heard of ETIAS. And cruise lines are already beginning to require proof of ETIAS approval at check-in for qualifying itineraries, meaning no approval, no boarding. So let's break down ETIAS in plain language. It stands for European Travel Information and Authorization System. You apply online before your trip, pay a small fee of around €7, and once approved, the authorization is electronically linked directly to your passport. Simple enough, right? Here is where seniors are getting tripped up in a big way. Many people realize their passport expires soon, so they plan to renew it after securing their ETS approval. That seems logical, but it is actually a costly mistake. Your ETIAS authorization is tied specifically to the passport number used during the application. The moment you receive a new passport, that old ETIAS becomes completely invalid. You would need to apply all over again with your new passport details. This single misunderstanding is quietly derailing European cruise plans for seniors across the country heading into 2026. Now here is the fifth trap, and honestly, it might be the sneakiest one on this entire list. Name mismatches and outdated identification. Nobody talks about this one, but it is shockingly common, especially among senior women who have changed their name through marriage or divorce over the years. Here is how it happens. You book your cruise under one version of your name, but your passport reflects a different version. Maybe a middle name is included on one document, but not the other. Maybe you use a hyphenated last name inconsistently. It sounds minor, but cruise lines are not allowed to make judgment calls at the port level. If the name on your booking does not exactly match your passport, letter for letter, you will be denied boarding. There is no supervisor override, no grace period, and no quick fix standing at that terminal. Now that you know exactly what can go wrong, let's talk about how to make sure none of it happens to you. The good news is that every single one of these traps is completely avoidable with a little advance planning. Start this checklist at least 90 days before your departure date. Not 30, not 2 weeks, 90 days. First, check your passport expiration date and confirm you have a passport book, not just a card. Second, verify your real ID status by looking for the star marking on your driver's license. Third, if your itinerary includes European ports, begin your ETS application immediately and complete it before renewing any passport. Finally, lay every document side by side: your passport, your booking confirmation, your airline ticket, and confirm every single name matches exactly, character by character, no exceptions. So what happens if you discover a document problem just weeks before sailing? First, do not panic. Act immediately. The United States government offers expedited passport renewal services that can deliver a new passport book in as little as 5 to 7 business days when you pay the additional fee and book an appointment at a regional passport agency. Next, call your cruise line directly, not the booking website, not a chatbot. Call the actual cruise line and speak with their documentation department. They can clarify exactly what they need and sometimes flag your reservation for review. Now, about travel insurance. Here is the honest truth. Most travel insurance policies do not cover denied boarding due to improper documentation. Insurers consider that a preventable situation, meaning your claim will almost certainly be denied. That is exactly why prevention, not insurance, is your only real protection here. Let us take a moment to acknowledge something important. The people being turned away at these ports are not careless travelers. They are couples celebrating 40 years of marriage. They are retirees finally taking the trip they promised themselves after decades of hard work. They are grandparents bringing their families together for a milestone birthday at sea. The heartbreak of standing at that terminal with your luggage and being told you cannot board is devastating, and the worst part is that it is completely avoidable. None of these rule changes are personal. The government updated its requirements, cruise lines tightened their policies, and the world of travel simply became more complex. Staying informed is no longer optional. It is now a fundamental part of responsible travel planning in a way it genuinely was not 10 years ago. And speaking of things nobody warns you about, make sure you stick around for our next video, Cabin Crew Confessions. What seniors do wrong on a cruise. We went straight to the source and got real, unfiltered insights from experienced crew members who have seen it all on the high seas. From common mistakes in the dining room to cabin habits that quietly drive the staff crazy. This one is packed with the kind of insider knowledge that will completely change how you experience your next sailing. Trust us, this is the video your travel agent is not going to tell you about. Hit that subscribe button so you do not miss it when it drops.